Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrienne, and today I'm starting my Goodreads Choice Award Mystery Thriller category reading blog. That was a mouthful. This morning, the Goodreads Choice Award nominees were announced. I just did a quick video going through all of the books in the nominees of the top 20. So how it works is today we get 20 nominees. In 2 weeks, we will find out the top 10. So we have 2 weeks to vote. And then once we have the top 10, we have the opportunity to vote again for the winner. And I think the winner's announced on December 5th this year. So I want to read as many books from the category as I can. I want to read the top 10 in particular. But since I have 2 weeks of not knowing what the top 10 are, I'm going to start reading, and naturally I'm going to get some wrong and end up reading more than 10 books, but that's okay. So I just posted a video reacting to the Mystery Thriller nominees top 20. Go check that out if you haven't already. And now I'm going to gather my thoughts, look at these nominees some more, pull what books I already own off of my shelf to see what I already have, start gathering other things I need. I don't know. I want to start reading. So when I went to gather my books, I realized my lunch break was over and I had to get back to work. So now it's 5 p.m. and the sun has set, but I have my books all gathered up. I've also had the thought that I want to read all 20 books. Maybe not all 20, but more than 10 for sure. And since I was having that thought, and also a stressful day, which made me want to go shopping, I bought the books that I don't have here. So judge me all you wish, but a lot of them were on sale, or 3 for the price of 2, or like a $5 off $15 book. Most of them were like $10. I don't know. Sue me. Okay, I'm supporting the authors. But here are all the ones I have. Whoa. That looks beautiful. If you can't tell, book of the month rules the world, basically. They either they're setting the trends or they are ahead of the trends and know what books to choose. But Freida McFadden, The Teacher. I've already read this one, Middle of the Night, so we'll talk about that at some point. Home is Where the Bodies Are. In my cool VHS tape, The Heiress by Rachel Hawken. I have a signed copy. Hey there. Richard Osman, We Solve Murders. House of Glass, Sarah Pekkanen. Last Met the Wedding, Jason Rekulak. God of the Woods, Liz Moore. All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. The Return of Ellie Black by Amiko Jean. Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. Everything else is on the way, and I'll show you one big giant stack whenever it's time. But the first thing I need to do is pick a book to read. I'm gonna have to tell you about all these books as I go to read them because there's a lot to go through. So let me line these up and look at them real quick. Hang on. In choosing which book I want to read, I'm looking for what is going to catch my interest because I have not been reading. I've been living in like a reading limbo waiting for the Goodreads Choice Awards. And I want to read something that's fast-paced, hence why I like thrillers. And not too big so I can feel like I will accomplish something when I finish it. Maybe looking at the spines, it's just psychological that something makes me want to read First Lie Wins first. But I think this is what I'm going to read first. As you can see here, I think I picked this book up in like February or so. Did you see a video of mine where I think I was in Erie, Pennsylvania on the lake? I remember having this while I was there. I put it down at page 40. So I'm going to start over from the beginning. And I'll let you know what it's about once I know what it's about. Good morning. I have a bunch of packages to open, but first I need to update you on First Lie Wins. I've been reading this book and so far it is good and entertaining. So this one follows a woman currently going by the name of Evie. And she is clearly some sort of spy, not for the government, but for some sort of group, private company of sorts, maybe. She is currently infiltrating this man's life named Ryan, I think. Yes, Ryan Sumner. And she is in a relationship with him. At the beginning of the book, he has asked her to move in with him, and she is working on moving in and getting real cozy in his life. But although she is a spy, I think she is enjoying this and wishing it were real. She really likes Ryan, but Ryan is involved in something that this company that she works for either needs information on, wants to infiltrate in some way, wants to take down. So he has this job. Well, he has a job, but he on Thursdays goes out of state every Thursday for like an important job that he doesn't really talk about. So must have something to do with that. And so I haven't really read any like fake identity, like for a company spy books. So I don't know what like plot twists and reveals or storylines usually happen in those types of stories. But to me, something exciting has happened. I don't want to tell you what, but something about her real life, her real name is coming up while she is currently undercover as Evie Porter. So she's trying to figure out what's happening there. Like, is it related to her job? Is it something else? And then things are just getting a little out of hand from there while she's trying to balance keeping her identity secret and then these other things that are happening that are disrupting her life. So far it's good. I'm enjoying the plot points and the reveals that have happened. But Evie herself as a character, meh. The believability of this like secret job, meh. But I am enjoying also that we are flashing back to previous jobs, and like we flash back to when she was not working for anyone. She was just like stealing jewels from people and getting like her history. So that's good so far, but I'm ready to open my stuff. Alright, first off, how hard are you judging me that I wanted to own all 20 books for this challenge? Because I'm judging myself pretty harshly, but also I'm very happy for me because I really wanted all of them and I was able to find good deals. So let's call this a combined birthday Christmas present to myself. So the first one I'm getting to is The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. Again, I will tell you about all these when I read them because I just don't know. The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. They had this as a book of the month pick, but I don't like Frida McFadden. And I don't want a big hardcover. I want just little paperbacks. That sounds like I'm insulting paperbacks. I kind of am, but I don't know. I didn't want a big hardcover. It is nice and silky though. Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. Not What She Seems by Yasmin Engo. The Mystery Guest by Nita Prose. Society of Lies by Lauren Ling Brown. How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen Perrin. That one's really pretty with gold foiling on it. And The Night We Lost Him by Laura Dave. So in finagling like the deals that were on Amazon, which were like buy 3 for the price of 2, and then some random coupons that were on there, I needed to get a 3rd expensive book to get 1 free. Oh my god, I know, I'm sorry, but I got this, Nexus by Yuval Noah Harari. So if you don't know, one of my favorite books in the world, definitely top 5, top 3, maybe number 1, is Sapiens by this author. It's a nonfiction, just following the history of Homo sapiens. And this is a sequel. I did read Homo Deus, which actually maybe that was the sequel. Is this the 3rd book? It's not actually a series. But I didn't like Homo Deus as much because it's more so about the future and what could happen in the next evolution of humans. But hopefully this one's more history. But anyways, can't read this anytime soon because I have about a million books to read. We'll make that 19 books to read. If I read them all, we'll see what happens. So anyways, I'm gonna go get my morning moving and continue reading First Lie Wins and put all my books together in one spot so we can look at it all together. Hello. I probably should not be looking at you right now, but I've just been laying around all day. I don't know, I just feel like laying. Also, my back hurts, and I've been reading my book. I'm on page 270, so I have less than 100 pages left, and the pacing of the reveals is really keeping me going. We just had a great reveal, or maybe reveal, a possible plot twist that we have yet to confirm, but it's so freaking good, this plot twist, if it's real. So I decided now I'm just gonna lay in my bed because I laid on the couch for many hours and I want to finish reading. And I also made this reading snack last night. What do you call this? Some people call it puppy chow. Some people call it muddy buddies. It's Czech cereal with like chocolate peanut butter, powdered sugar. It's delicious, and I'm gonna get a big bowl and lay in my bed and keep reading. Maybe finish my book. Hello. Not sure why I'm sharing that with you, but disregard. Last night I finished First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston, and I'm giving it 4 stars. It was a fun thriller. I actually had a moment last night where I was aghast about what was possibly happening and finding out a reveal, a plot twist. It was a really good time and a very exciting twist that I did not see coming. I was just in suspense waiting to find out what was really going on, and that was really fun. I again still didn't end up loving the characters or feeling much connection to them, but it was fun. I understand why so many people enjoyed it. It was just a good time. I really need to pick up the pace of reading these books. And who better to make you read a book quickly than Miss Frida McFadden? So I'm gonna pick up The Teacher, partially also just so I can have a book on my Kindle to take to the dentist office with me. But I have no idea what this book is about. I just know that it follows a teacher, and her husband is also a teacher, I think. And I have no idea what the story's about. I'll let you know when I get to some more information, but we'll find out what book Frida McFadden is plagiarizing in this one. So, time to get my teeth cleaned and start reading. Sadly for me, this clip lost its audio, so this is where I'm introducing you to The Teacher and telling you that it is a book following a couple who they both are teachers at the same high school. Our main character, Eve, is married to Nate, and she is very unsatisfied with her marriage. Nate really neglects her. And then Eve is also obsessed with shoes, strangely. And there's this girl at her school named Addie who apparently last year caused some trouble with another teacher and is possibly why he's gone. Maybe they had an affair, some sort of scandal happened. And Eve's trying to figure out her relationship and also how she can get more shoes. It's interesting so far, sure. Good morning. I have today off, so I am making some tea. I ordered breakfast and I just want to read today and get some stuff done in my apartment. I owe you a lot of updates, but first let's make some tea. Guess what I did all day? I actually did read quite a bit, but I also napped a lot and then woke up feeling horrible, and I keep having like hot flashes and feeling ill over and over. And I've been awake for many hours, so I don't think I can blame grogginess anymore, but we're just gonna keep trucking and see what happens. But I did spend a good amount of my time reading The Teacher by Frida McFadden. And maybe this is why I was so sleepy or why I was feeling ill, quite possible. I'm now a little over 300 pages into this book. I again will give it to Frida McFadden that she writes a fast-paced page turner. So just so you know, there is a teacher-student intimate relationship in here, high school student, which is very gross and uncomfortable to read. The student is, you know, very romanticizing this relationship, but to us it's very clear that this is horrible. Just horrible. So we have a lot of characters in here who are just not having a good time themselves and also doing bad things. And then we have some crimes happening. And it's just, one, I don't want to read a high school. I don't want to read the things that are happening. It's not like horrific or anything. It's just not great and everyone's miserable. But where I'm at now, something pretty big just happened and some tables have turned. So I have less than 100 pages left. I'm going to keep reading this. I did move all of my books I have to read to this little, I put a table in front of the bookshelf. And so now I can just grab them. It's easier to see in person, but I also want to update you on Listen for the Lie, which I've been listening to on audio, and I've been listening to far more than I meant to read without telling you. But so far the audiobook is good as suspected, since it is in the best audiobooks category. It's narrated by January Lavoie, who also narrates the Women's Murder Club books by James Patterson, which I am nearly caught up on. I've read 23 and a half of them. That whole shelf right there. So she has a very familiar, comfortable voice for me. I am excited I get to listen to her read this one. But this book follows a woman named Lucy, and 5 years ago her best friend was found murdered, and Lucy does not remember the night, but she came out of the woods covered in blood, so people think that she did it. And she herself does not remember whether or not she did it because she can't remember that night. So it's 5 years later. She left town because everyone in her town hates her and thinks that she did it, although she wasn't charged with anything. So she now lives in LA and she's trying to just move on with her life. However, a podcast comes out where a guy is investigating this unsolved murder, which of course re-upheaves Lucy's life, and it's getting traction and popularity. So people in her life are figuring out who Lucy is, which she of course tries to keep secret because people think she murdered her best friend. So the book starts off with her getting fired from her job, and then her boyfriend maybe realizing that, oh, you never told me that you are suspected of murdering your best friend. So this podcast is kind of ruining her life. And her grandma is her best friend, so her grandma asked her to come back into town for her 80th birthday. Lucy, of course, hasn't been there since her best friend was murdered and everything happened. So she's back. It's awkward. And also the man who runs the podcast is in town and wanting to interview her. So far this is a pretty enjoyable read. Our main character is very snarky, very sarcastic, and it is entertaining, but I think it's starting to grate on me a little bit. Like, okay, girl, take things seriously and stop making jokes all the time. It's not funny. But she's an interesting character. She also has a voice in her head that is telling her to kill people. Well, not telling her to kill people. I don't know. She like has this, I don't know, she just has this, she hears like, doesn't actually hear. She knows it's in her head. I don't know what I'm saying. But you'll hear like, kill her, happen all the time. And she often pictures murdering people. But she doesn't know if she herself is actually a murderer, if that makes sense. You know, just some intrusive, dark thoughts. We all have those, right? So, anyways, I'm at least halfway through this book now. I don't actually know what page, but it's good. It's good. I'm going to keep listening. I'm going to finish The Teacher very soon. I'll probably be able to finish this one soon because I have like some stuff I'm working on that I can listen to it when I'm not listening to Moana, because my dental hygienist told me that she likes my hair and I look like Moana, which made me want to listen to Moana. And now I can't stop listening to Moana. So I'll see if I can finish this and not get sidetracked by Moana. I am once again back with 2 updates because I finished 2 books. So first, I'll tell you about The Teacher by Frida McFadden. I'm giving it 2.5 stars. No surprise there for me at all. What to say about this book? I obviously didn't like the content very much. The student-teacher relationship is very icky, and I was not enjoying that. But then once things started escalating, we got some action. It was kind of fun, but just like the rest of the book, the way that the story was told, it just didn't feel very real, didn't feel very believable. All of the characters are pretty dumb people, and they're painful to read from. They're very unlikable, which is okay, but then I just didn't get what they were doing, what they were thinking, the pacing of things, the decisions they were making, and how they were making those decisions just wasn't very good. The relationships between some of our characters, including our side characters, so Addie has some interactions at school. She's getting severely bullied. And then she also has a friend that she no longer really talks to. And those situations, just now that I know everything about it, just kind of didn't fit, in my opinion. But the two redeeming factors, the reason it is a 2.5, Frida McFadden can write a page turner. I think I've said it multiple times. I was flying through this book, okay? I don't enjoy reading her books, but I enjoy the pace that I read her books. And it's not just me fighting it through it. I am reading it like, oh my God, this is silly, and rolling my eyes, but then I'm also like, well, what's gonna happen next? Where is this going? So I did enjoy that. And then, highly controversial opinion. I know a lot of people hated the twist at the end of this book. I liked the twist. It was finally something that happened that I was surprised by. And obviously I'm not going to tell you what it is, but what the twist was about, I was even thinking like there has to be some sort of surprise reveal about this situation that's going on, but I had no idea what the reveal was going to be. And then when it happened, I was like, okay, that's silly. In a good way, like enjoyable. I liked the little surprise at the end, even though what happened with the twist is terrible. Terrible, terrible. But since this is so unbelievable, doesn't feel real, and is obviously a fiction book anyways, I can laugh a little bit at that silly twist. So there's that. One Frida McFadden down. And then I also completed Listen for the Lie by Amy Tantera. I will say that the audiobook is excellent. The book itself I'm giving 4 out of 5 stars. As the book progresses, this is the one with the podcast, and the man who runs the podcast is in town while, is it Lucy? Yes, while Lucy is there. So the way that Lucy and the man who runs the podcast end up interacting, I actually very much enjoyed. Once she realizes that he's actually there to solve and figure out what happened, whether she did it or not, made it really cool to see them to see him actually get her on board with investigating instead of just trying to escape from the situation. Like, if you didn't do it or possibly didn't do it, let's find out what really happened. And I really enjoyed how the podcast episodes were woven into the story. We got interviews from different people in town who loved or hated Lucy and Savvy, and just their perspective of things, especially because we're getting Lucy's perspective of her and Savvy, her best friend who died, her perspective of their relationship and what was going on at the time. So then to see other people in town or in their lives also give their perspective was very enjoyable. Also, always listening for the lies. Although honestly, the title I don't think was that clever. I was hoping that at some point someone would have said a lie that I should have caught and I didn't, or something, I don't know. And then Lucy's character voice. Her snarky, sarcastic personality was starting to get on my nerves, and it got worse and worse. She doesn't take a thing seriously. I did not like that about her, and it made it just, I don't know, I was rolling my eyes at Lucy like, please, you are suspected of murdering your best friend. Let's focus here. Stop being a goofball. But not like a fun goofball, like a a sassy dry goofball. There was a point at the beginning of the book where when we were introduced to a certain character, I was like, they did it, and I felt it so wholeheartedly that they were the killer. And there were these tiny, tiny, tiny little things that happened throughout the book that I was 100% convinced. And I don't actually know if it was supposed to be a red herring or if I was just being weird. But I loved that I was wrong, because I thought I solved this book from the beginning, and I absolutely did not. Unfortunately, once I did find out the true story of what happened, I wasn't really impressed. We know from the beginning, obviously, that this murder happens, and then we're flashing back to that time 5 years ago before the murder happens, leading up to the event. So by the end of this book, when you're getting to what actually happened and finding out the full story, one, I didn't love what happened. It wasn't like an exciting reveal or plot twist. Well, okay, I guess it was reveals, but it wasn't fun anymore, which is fine. But it was sad and dark, and just a way that I wasn't expecting because of some of the other elements of this book. So that was depressing to read how it ended. And then one element about this book that I thought was really silly is the amount of sex and cheating going on in here. One of the main reveals throughout the book is who's cheating on who had sex with who, and that is a good twist or reveal sometimes. But when then it happens 10 times and all the characters are somehow involved with other people that they shouldn't be, like, that's not entertaining anymore. Like, you can only do that once or twice, and then it gets old, and I just felt like it happened so many times. Like, is this whole town just depraved? What is happening? And all their secrets getting exposed like that is just, I don't know. I know that sex is a big motivator for crimes, but like, did everyone have to be cheating on everyone? That was weird. And I'm a fan of cheating as a plot twist, honestly. So for me to say that, I think it was way too much. So I think I just said a lot of bad things about this book, now that I think about it. Is it really a 4? Maybe it's a 3.5, actually. I want to say it's a 3.5. But again, it was another one that I really went through and enjoyed reading. So there's that. I don't know. So now I have read Listen for the Lie, The Teacher, and First Lie Wins. Plus, I had already previously read Middle of the Night. So I've now read 4 out of the 20 Goodreads Choice Award nominees for the mystery thriller category. So I have decided that I want to end the vlog here and make this vlogging experience into multiple videos instead of just doing one massive video at the end, just so I can manage it better and edit a little bit at a time. So that means that this is the end of this video, and in the next vlog I am planning on picking up books that I actually think will be my favorite books out of the 20. So hopefully I'll find a 5-star read. That's really what I'm hoping for. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you enjoyed it enough that you will come back to see the next portion of my reading vlog. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you there.